Hi guys, welcome back to the garden. It is a beautiful Sunday morning. All of our roses are enjoying their full flush. It is the perfect time for us to do a full garden tour. All right, I started the video with you looking at Desdemona. Desdemona is enjoying her life right here. So many blooms. And still so many more to follow. This rose that you're looking at, she's been planted in the garden for about 4 years now. So she's definitely an established rose in the garden. On our walk through the garden today, I must mention that we had thunderstorms on Friday, and then yesterday was an extremely windy day. So the roses that you're going to be seeing have gone through the mill in terms of rain and wind, right? So it's saying that just so that you can see exactly how they held up to those conditions, right? Beautiful. Right, so this is Desdemona, and we are going to start our tour right here on the Rose Walk. There is a lot to see and a lot to enjoy. Hi. This rose right here is Munstead Wood. Munstead Wood is a baby, as you can tell, planted from a 2-quart container last year, but he hasn't let that stop him. He is still putting on a show, right? Still sending out those little blooms. Now his blooms will get bigger as he gets older. All right. Now, as always with the Rose Walk, I'll give you a full glimpse here. With the Rose Walk, what I'll do is, so that I don't zigzag too much on you, we'll go ahead and we'll do the walk on the right where we have the Poet's Wife. We'll go straight down, and then I'll quickly show you the roses to the left. Okay. So the first rose right here that starts the walk, no introduction necessary, right? The Poet's Wife. Blooming here, oh, so beautiful. The Poet's Wife is enjoying her life right here. Right. Beautiful David Austin rose. Reliable bloomer. Spectacular fragrance. Awesome disease resistance. Beautiful flowers. Growing here in about 5 hours of sun per day. And looking really healthy, right? Yeah. All right. Okay. This rose coming right up here, this pink, this is Gertruco. All right. Gertruco has started to give us some blooms, and they are beautiful. Okay. This is the Gertrude that we cut back from a climber she climbed last year, and this year we brought her down to a shrub, and she has not skipped a beat and has rewarded us with some absolutely beautiful blooms that smell amazing. Oh, you should smell that. Oh. Doing really well this season. And I must admit, right, in hindsight, having her grown as a shrub here works a whole lot better than having had her as a climber in the space. Right? Way more balanced and controlled as a shrub rose. Gertruco. Moving past our hydrangeas. Okay, now this is Crown Princess Margarita. Right on the very back, the taller rose, and in the front is Rodal. Isn't it amazing? The color is basically the same. Now, the storms that we had passed through on Friday, unfortunately, Crown Princess Margarita did take some damage, so I have some of her canes that are down right now. I need to go in, and I'm hoping I haven't lost any, but I may have to cut her back a bit and then see if I can get her tied back in. This is the third Sunday. So do you remember I showed you her, 3 Sundays ago, she had started her flush of roses. I want to remind you that this rose grows in the shade. She gets 3 hours or so of sun, of direct sun per day, and that is it. And she is loving every minute of her life. Okay? A beautiful, beautiful rose, awesome bloomer, fantastic fragrance. Right, and a very vigorous climber, because even though I'll be coming in to cut back those damaged canes, I'm not the least bit worried because of how vigorous she is. I know that she's going to push up that new growth for us. All right, so that's Crown Princess Margarita, and then beside her, as mentioned earlier, is Rodal. Rodal has done beautifully this year, absolutely beautiful. This is my first time seeing or enjoying a true full flush from Rodal. Just taking you so you can see some of his blooms here. Beautiful rose. All right. There is so much to see. Let me take you into the back garden. Let's take a look at the roses on the Rose Island. All right, let's get on in. All right, as we enter the garden, the first rose that greets us at the gate is Elizabeth. Elizabeth has started to give us a little splash of blooms here and there. All right, but she is not in full flushes yet. Fully budded up. All right. That she is still teasing us, people. A few more days, a day or two, we should be able to enjoy a full flush of roses. Let me show you one that is, here you go, that's opening here. Okay. Alright guys, moving on to the Rose Island and how this bed has changed. This is the first bed that we looked at together on our first Sunday morning stroll. Now the plants have started to fill in. Look at these Shasta daisies. The roses are now filling in as well and in bloom. And so this bed looks so much different than what it was before. Now, I will just jump ahead and say this. It is a work in progress, so you're going to see unfinished edges and a bit of sheet mulching in progress. But once this bed is done, I think it's going to be spectacular. What do you think? Yeah? All right. Right here we have a baby pink perfusion salvia. This was gifted to me by my neighbor. This is the one I was admiring that my neighbor had. I think she saw me admiring hers and she brought me two. Isn't that awesome? So thank you so much. She is beautiful and planted here. I plant my salvia in containers because the bunnies will not let them be. So if it's in the ground, it probably will not survive. So all of my salvia right now are container planted. All right, the rose that you're seeing right here, this is Bring Me Sunshine. All right, Bring Me Sunshine was planted last spring bare root. So this is his first official spring in the garden. Looking beautiful. Going to treat us to lots of blooms. All right, let me take you down so you can see some of his flowers here. He's standing at around 2.5 feet, if not 3 feet tall right now. 2.5 feet or so tall. Absolutely gorgeous rose. All right. An absolutely beautiful, healthy rose. All right, no complaints, so bring me sunshine. Okay. Moving down the island, look at this. This is the Sophie's Rose. This is the Sophie's Rose after she's done her full flush. Right, some of her blooms are faded, but I want to just stop on her for a second. Last week we saw her in full flush. Right, this is her going into that faded moment when wrapping up her full flush. And look at how beautiful she still is. She is still beautiful. Those blooms, as they age, they get bigger. They fade a bit in terms of their color, but added to the bed, look at the dramatic interest she gives with the other roses in the bed. Look at that. She is a spectacular rose. This is a kind of rose that I would plant as a hedge. I would use this one for a hedge. So well behaved, so beautiful, and then really good on the repeat. And again, she has been planted. This is her first spring, planted also bare root last year. All of the roses on the island were planted last spring. Right, Hyde Hall isn't giving us any love yet. Right, it's got lots of buds, but no love for us, and we are waiting. So we will pass over Hyde Hall and we'll go to this Pink Beauty. All right. Now this is another unknown rose in my garden. Initially we assumed that it was Zephyrin, but then the key difference jumped out at me is that this rose is thorny and Zephyrin is not a thorny rose. This little rose has started her flush. She's been going now for at least 4 to 5 days. She smells absolutely, absolutely beautiful. She is a climbing rose. I grow her hair as a shrub, so I cut her back every spring. And I do wish I knew her name, but I do not. All right. But she's gorgeous. The fragrance on this one is outstanding. Absolutely, absolutely outstanding. All right, so moving on from this Pink Beauty, we dive into another pink rose. This is Bosco Bell. All right. Bosco Bell is still pretty small in my garden. 3 years in, I've still not gotten a very big shrub from Bosco Bell. I'm hoping that as the years go by, he will fill out and get a little bit larger for us. Okay. These blooms are beautiful. They are a couple days old. I'm trying to see if I can find a new flower for you. This one's just about to open. Okay. Right, so this beauty is Bosco Bell. Alright, let's move on up. I'm going to try to run it through so quickly for you because all of the roses are enjoying their full flush and I would like to show you everybody. This is Lady of Shalot. Alright, one of the most recognizable of the David Austin roses because of that peach, beautiful orangey mixed color. I'm hoping that we are picking up on it in the sun. The sun just came out overhead. A vigorous rose, awesome bloomer, huge, right? A very big shrub rose. Right here there is a planting of 3. All right, and we're gonna pull back. I'm pulling back hoping that you are able to see her. And I hope my camera skills is doing her justice. There's shade on this side. This is good. Hopefully you're able to see her blooms better. Now this is a really fascinating rose, awesome color. And what I enjoy about her is that, do you know her blooms? Her blooms actually change colors. Depending on the time of day, you will get a different color contrast from her blooms. And look at how big her buds are. Look at this. Can you see that bud? Huge, right? Wow. Beautiful. Alright, next in line is Septides. Septides has a strong myrrh fragrance, which when mixed in with all of the sweet fragrances that we have going on in the garden, it's actually refreshing, right? It's a nice contrast to all of the other fragrances. Now she has started to give us beautiful blooms with still a lot more sprays to come. A very healthy rose that the bunnies enjoy. This is one of the bunnies' favorite roses. I don't know why, but they love feeding on this rose. Second year in the garden, second spring. Right, down here, this tangled mess of blooms. This is Teas in Georgia. Teas in Georgia is a very vigorous climber, and it turns out that I have her sighted in the wrong spot. So what I will have to do is, once she has done blooming, I am going to remove her from the spot. Yes, she needs a bigger bed all to herself in order to thrive, because she is so vigorous, okay? And she's only going to get bigger. This rose is just a year. Is she a year old yet? Yeah, this is also her first spring, if not her second spring in the garden. Alright, this is Salis Marner. I'm trying to position myself in a way so that my shadow is not blocking the view of the rose. Beautiful blooms, lots of buds, right? So lots of blooms to come. This rose, her flowers last a day or two and they're gone, but she has so many in waiting that the shrub itself stays in bloom, or stays with color. Alright. And right down here, you know this one. Yep. This is Julia Child. Julia is putting on some growth this season, which is perfect. Big, beautiful, bold yellow colors, yellow blooms. Looking absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. Okay, and right beside Julia Child is a spent Estacia VI, ready to be deadheaded. Treated us to some beautiful blooms, beautiful flowers. Right. She is ready to be cleaned up after her spring flush. Alright guys, we are back on Lady of Shalot. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'll have to end the video here because I'm checking my timestamps and I'm already over my 20-minute mark, right? Trying to keep it a little bit shorter for you so that you can get to enjoy the entire garden. So this video we'll be posting for our Sunday stroll as always, right? But the rest of the video I'll go ahead and I will put that out for you as part 2, and that will be uploaded on Tuesday. So do look out for that video. Alright, thank you so much again for having joined me for yet another beautiful day in the garden. As always, you are all awesome. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Thanks, guys.